Well, as we move forward, we do have the opportunity each year to come together as a board and executive team and other key stakeholders to think about what does the future look like. And that'll be no different in 2017. We'll take some time early March and think about what is the future, what is it that we will be doing or need to be thinking and planning and considering. And there aren't really a lot of surprises in that, because what that is based on our year, based on our last 2 or 3 years of learnings. We know, for instance, that the demand for housing and housing support isn't getting any less. It's still a critical part of the need of people in our community. So we will be looking at how might we do that, perhaps similar to what we've done, but more importantly, I think right now, is how will we do that differently? We've created a lot of partnerships in this last 2 or 3 years, so there's a platform for us to think about that as we move forward. We have initiatives like the NDIS coming out of the Commonwealth Government around disability. We have formed some partnerships, but we really need to give some consideration to what is our role in disability and disability housing and support as we move forward. We need to think about how do we fund our work, because there aren't buckets of money coming out of government at the moment. It haven't been for some time, a few years now. So how will we, in a sense, think about the social imperative to fund housing and support for housing as we move into the future? What are the levers we need to think about, and what are the levers that we can pull, advocate for, or in fact design as we move forward? We've, as a board and as an organisation, undertaken a lot of projects, a lot of initiatives, but more importantly, we've grounded the organisation for the future. So that's been our particular purpose this year, has been to think about how do we ensure that we have the organisation in the right place to move forward. In thinking about our future, one of the things we felt we needed to do was to really invest in the organisation, to make sure we had the right platform to move forward, to ensure that we can grow the organisation and therefore meet our purpose, which is about supporting people who may be homeless or at risk of homelessness. But in the end, it's about creating a community that understands and supports our goal and our purpose, which is to have no one homeless. So the Wattlewood development in Carrum Downs has been a very important initiative over a number of years, and it is a project which allows us to work with residents who are already living on the estate, but to provide them with wonderful new housing and housing support, to include them in their community and for us to build our community around them. But in addition to that, it's provided over 100 new homes for people who may have been homeless or at risk of homelessness. So it's an ongoing project, and it's certainly taken time and attention over the years, but we're at the celebration end of that as we consider the other projects across the state. So during this past year, we partnered with a number of key agencies who were interested in a state government tender around housing for women and families who may be affected by domestic violence. And so the Rapid Housing Project grew, and we've partnered with Women's Housing Victoria and other key support agencies, and we were successful with them in being funded for 41 projects or houses across Victoria and across our region of Victoria, and we've very quickly hit the road running with that. So being able to spot purchase housing and therefore very quickly accommodate and provide accommodation for women and their children who may be in need of housing because of issues relating to domestic violence. Of course, there's a lot of other things that go with that. There's lots of supports that then get wrapped around those families in order for them to make a new beginning. We've always been in the business of housing people who've unfortunately been affected by violence, but this has given us a specific purpose and target. So in addition, one of the other initiatives that Kim Muchingo, our CEO, brought to the board, and which the board was very pleased to support, was Active Housing. And Active Housing is a disability housing agency that has a lot of skills and expertise in that space. I think it's a terrific win-win for us as we move into the next stages of these conversations. We've recently signed a memorandum of understanding with their board to think about how we can move forward in the space of disability housing and also asset management for us. So we bring a whole lot of expertise about housing construction and housing support. They bring an enormous amount of expertise around disability and disability support and, of course, housing for the disabled. So with NDIS being on the horizon, this is a great opportunity for Haven Home Safe, and we believe active housing, to consider where we go to in the future. So again, I think this is the beginning of a great partnership and a great outcome for our region and our community. It's great to be here in the Charity House today. It's a great initiative of some extremely important stakeholders that we have here in Bendigo and indeed in Central Victoria and Victoria. So it's a partnership between critical stakeholders for us, some new and some old, if you like, or long-standing is probably a better word. And that's between JG King builders who have actually built this charity house, Integra, who have provided the block of land onto which the house is sitting, a magnificent block of land that we've had an opportunity to walk through today, and also PRD Nationwide, who are the marketers and sales team that have donated their time, energy, expertise and passion to actually sell this charity house. Without connections such as this, Haven Home Safe wouldn't be able to do the sorts of things it's doing. It sits between philanthropy and community generosity. So again, a great opportunity for us at Haven Home Safe to build those new partnerships, but more importantly for us right now, if I'm honest, it's really also about the funding. The funding that will come from the sale of this house, this charity house, will go directly to Sydney Myer Haven project, the social curriculum project, which will provide opportunities for the tenants. That's allowing them to do studies, it's parenting, it's budgeting, it's cooking, it's play groups, it's a whole range of things which will enable the tenants really to make a difference to their lives and the difference to the lives of their families. So we're here at Sydney Myer Haven, which is our accommodation for up to 19 tenants and their families here in this project. And behind me is the support centre, which is a culmination of lots of great ideas and also lots of energy and passion from our staff and from others around Victoria really and Australia. So it's a unique opportunity, I suppose, to consider how you integrate housing, providing of housing and the supports that people might need, often don't get, in order to maintain and develop their capacity. So this resource centre, it meets one of the board's strategic goals, which is about developing the connection between people, the community they live and work in, and also their skill set, development of skill sets around maintaining a home, maintaining and developing a family, considering opportunities around education and also looking to the future. So really excited to be here today and seeing the actual building underway, and we're looking forward to its completion around the end of February. So now we're at Maliodora, which is an amazing project. Just had the opportunity to have yet again another walkthrough, so every time I do that I'm amazed by it. It's been a long time coming, this one, because it's had I suppose particular areas of planning and collaboration that were really important for the cohort and important for the organisations. And the organisations that have been part of this project are the Department of Health and Human Services, Anglicare Victoria and Haven Home Safe. And the particular cohort that we're looking at is disability. So the target residents for this wonderful development are from the Disability Support Register, which means that people who have got a disability who are waiting for specialist and supported accommodation have an opportunity to live in this wonderful environment. So there are single units like this one that we're in, and also there are shared spaces. Everyone's got their own space, but there are shared spaces as well. The uniqueness of this, I suppose, is that this strong partnership and connection has provided the expertise and the skills we need to get what we've got, which is not a development that you look at and go, well, that's for people with disabilities, but rather this is a development that is a series of homes, and it happens to have the support that people with disabilities will need. And we're moving more and more, I suppose, to that tenant-centred, family-centred approach. So I'm thrilled to be here and very much look forward to the project end, which is fast approaching, and for our tenants, the tenants of the partnerships, to have new homes to live in. Housing affordability is getting more and more difficult for people, and so there is the demand and need to think about that social housing environment as we move forward for cohorts that we may not have had a big exposure to in the past. More and more in the ageing area, more and more in, I suppose, the notion, as I said, of disability. Mental health is another critical area of consideration, but just affordability. So what are some of the leverage, some of the discussions and opportunities that we can take as we move forward with other partners? Now, none of these are quick fixes. They take time to plan, they take time to research, and and we need to do that with a lens of what are the risks. Moving the risks to opportunities is what we're good at, what we've been good at for a long time. So that's what we'll be doing as we focus forward. I think, as I said last year, I feel very privileged that the board has given me that opportunity to be the chair, because the board are the decision makers, not just me. It's not an island, it is a team. And I guess I just wanted to take the opportunity to thank the board of directors of Haven Home Safe for the amount of work, energy and commitment they do put into this organisation. Some of them for many, many years, others probably a couple of years, but in the main it moves forward. It takes the organisation forward as a board. It considers its purpose and it grounds itself in the fact that we are about utilising the expertise and skills we have within the organisation, within our partnerships and within our community to make a difference. Also would like to obviously take the opportunity to thank our CEO, Ken Machingo. Ken is the visionary. He is the person that has been, I suppose, in housing or in housing support or homeless for more years than he probably cares to remember. But with that, he brings a wealth of information and a wealth of knowledge, and he's part of the team. He imparts that with us, and we can debate that and we can challenge it and we can grow on it, but in the end we're all here for the same purpose, as I said, which is to make a difference. So Ken, thank you. To his team, to his executive team, thank you, because that's what makes our job doable. Many of us have got, like everyone else, lots of hats that we wear, but this is one of the key pieces of work for the board, the relationship between the executive team, between our CEO and ourselves. And that leads me to the fact that I just did want to say that I had the opportunity this year to, as I did last year, to attend the Staff Development Day and to present some awards to some of our staff members who, for longevity of service or for staff awards, etc. That day fills me with the sense of we must be doing something right as an organisation, because everyone has got a passion for the work they do. People saying we are learning, we do need to think about how we do things differently, but we have the opportunities, and that's critically important in an organisation. You need the culture at the coalface that is about making a difference, and we indeed have that. So I'm very grateful for all of that. I certainly hope that you enjoy the annual report as you have a look through it, and others will comment, including Ken, our CEO. You'll get to explore some of the projects, some of the initiatives, some of the, I suppose, pieces of work that make the difference, and that's why we're all here. Thank you.